Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Hickory Podcast. Today we have a super special guest, Shawn McIntosh, the Chief Fan Officer from the Charlotte Football Club. This will be the first season that Charlotte will be fielding a Major League Soccer team, and I'm super excited about it. They seem to have some great ideas on how to make the fan experience amazing, and I'm also looking forward to this team just bringing our local sports teams together, or sports fans together, I should say. So without further delay, please welcome our guest today, Shawn McIntosh. Shawn, thanks so much for agreeing to be on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mike. Excited about it. Look forward to chatting about the club.
So I must say, I am super excited about Charlotte getting an MLS team. And full disclosure, our family did get season tickets for the upcoming season. So
Love
definitely,
it. Love it.
definitely looking forward to it. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role with the team? I think I've never heard of a team of any sport have a chief fan officer. So I found it pretty intriguing that are you like the first one to ever have this title that we know of?
I am, which makes it exciting, a little bit scary, a lot to live up to, but I'm excited. It's a dream job for me. My background, I've worked in the professional sports world now for 13 years on the business side, working in various departments, a lot of it focused on revenue generation. And for me, I've got a passion for this sport, having grown up in Italy, having played, watched, supported, my hometown club overseas. This was an opportunity for me to be a part of the growth of this sport in the Carolinas, in this country, and to be a part of an inaugural season in club. I think it's really special. So focusing on the fans, taking both my affinity for the sport as a diehard fan and my background, on the business side, and meshing those together to make sure that we're listening to the fans, we're acting, and we're running in a way that is not only conducive to the business side, but it's conducive to a really great fan experience as well.
Awesome. So can you explain the significance of Charlotte getting an MLS team and what it took to get us here today? I mean, I know they kind of got the ball rolling before you started, but I mean, just kind of
Absolutely.
give us a brief history.
Yeah, it's massive. So we know this league is growing and growing. It's growing, across a number of metrics, whether it's viewership. I mean, it's quite literally growing as a league with more clubs joining. You see the number of cities clamoring for a Major League Soccer franchise. And so, Charlotte was amongst those cities that, we're looking to bring MLS in and obviously won a bid to do so with David Tepper bringing this club to life. And it's massive for the Carolinas, in terms of, bringing something here that a professional sport that's going to take place in the summer, a professional sport where, it has an opportunity to unify folks around here. I think that's a big opportunity for us to bring people together, because a lot of fans may already have an NFL team. We know, a city like Charlotte, where so many people are moving to this city, a lot of times they're bringing an allegiance to an NFL team that they've had, growing up, they've had passed down from generation to generation, or fandoms in other areas. And so for us, you don't have a ton of people that have grown up with an MLS team. And so for us, we look forward to being an opportunity that, regardless of what NFL team you support, what NBA team you support, hopefully wherever you're from, whether you're a transplant, whether you're born and raised in the Carolinas, you can all come together, during the summer to celebrate Charlotte FC.
Yeah, I was actually joking with someone recently in that I think people are probably more likely to change religions than change their NFL team affiliation. I mean, I grew up in South Jersey, just outside of Philadelphia. And so, I want to see the Panthers do as well as possible, unless they're playing the Eagles. But, I don't think I'm ever going to give that one up. So I'm kind
really
of,
hard,
and it's one of the things I'm excited about, is being able to kind of like, coalesce around one team, to have our whole area, kind of be able to kind of get together and support a team. And it just seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see here. So can you discuss maybe some of the renovations that have been done to the stadium to accommodate soccer and why fans should be excited about the experience?
Yeah, I mean, super exciting stuff happening. I mean, David Tepper has not only brought this club to life, but really focused on investing in it. And Bank of America Stadium is a beautiful stadium, but he's committed, to make some pretty significant upgrades and changes so that a soccer club can not only play there but thrive. And so there are $50 million in investments made. Whether it's creating this really awesome supporters tap room bar that's going to be incredible for our supporters, as they march in, to have this space where they can continue their celebration, continue their party, have some of the best beers around on tap. There's going to be some changes made to our East End entrance that not only make it, as far as a stadium, a little bit easier to walk into. There's also a centralized tunnel where our players will be coming out of, that's actually in line with a new premium seating location. So some really cool stuff that's happening that's going to transform that building into not only a great venue, but a really great soccer venue.
That's cool. I mean, I saw some of the renderings online, and I'll, if you're okay with it, I'll link a link to that video in our show notes. Absolutely. Or whatever, because I think it's just really cool. I mean, I can't wait to actually see it in person because it just looks like it's going to be really awesome. Can you tell us a little bit with the stadium? Bank of America Stadium is much larger than most of the soccer venues that we see out there. Not most of them, but a lot of them. Is there anything they're going to do special to the stadium to like keep everybody more compact, or do we think we're going to be able to sell out the whole stadium, or what's that going to look like?
Yeah, it's a good question. So for us, we've been pretty vocal about a couple goals that we have as a club. First and foremost, for our inaugural home match, we want to sell that bad boy out. So for us, 74,000 plus fans packing that stadium would be a Major League Soccer record. So as far as our community coming together and standing behind something, I think that's going to be pretty powerful to send a massive message to the world that we've arrived. I think it helps kickstart what we all anticipate to be a rivalry with Atlanta. Atlanta currently holds that record, so I think we'd all love to break it.
Most definitely.
Right. So, our goal is to open up the stadium for that inaugural match and fill every seat in there. And then moving forward, we'd like to average 30,000 fans a game, which means that we are selling out that area, which we've seen is pretty impactful as far as creating that stadium atmosphere and helping us give our team on the pitch a home field advantage. So, I think if we accomplish those two things, we're going to be in great shape.
Awesome. So talk about how long the season is and kind of when we kick things off. You mentioned the opening game. Are we actually, do we know who we're playing yet? Are we actually starting with Atlanta, or is that not released yet?
Not released yet.
Okay.
Stay tuned. We expect that information to be out in the next couple weeks. So what we do know is Major League Soccer came out and announced the format for the schedule in 2022, and so you're gonna be looking at a season that starts at the end of February, and okay. So for us, that season is going to run through with playoffs to November. A little bit of a shift in season timeline wise, just because you'll have the World Cup taking place in Qatar in the winter. Okay. So we're excited about obviously our inaugural match, kicking off the season, all of that, and so. MLS has released what the first matches, the dates will look like. So stay tuned to know what our actual season looks like. But we'll be playing 17 home games. Okay. So a Major League Soccer season is 34 games in total, 17 of those at home for regular season.
Awesome. So more than more than American football, but not as much as like baseball. Or so it's a nice. It seems like a pretty good number of games. So that's cool.
Yeah, and from a fan perspective, the season is typically stretched out, which is nice because it's typically something like 2 or 3 games a month, which makes it really easy for a lot of fans to be able to attend as many matches as possible. I know, being a big basketball fan as well, it's always tough to go to 44 plus games. So this makes it a little bit easier, and certainly, when you compare it to not only the NBA but baseball, it's nice for our fans to be able to not stress about having to make those matches.
That's cool. So as far as tickets go, how hard is it going to be for people to get like individual game tickets and season tickets? Like, can you give kind of any kind of price range on that, or just to kind of give people a starting point on like kind of what the entry point will be?
Yeah, so right now the best way to guarantee access into matches and in our stadium is through season tickets. And obviously there's a ton of benefits that come with that, a lot of really cool perks. But the biggest of which is you're securing your seat for what's going to be a pretty highly anticipated season. So we've got a lot of options for our fans. We brought in a really great partner in Centene that's allowed us to open up a new section in our building called our Centene section. So, if folks are interested in learning about more, check out our website. We have all that information out there. And then we will have our inaugural tickets for matches and individual tickets all on sale. And that's going to kind of come out here in the next couple weeks as we start announcing what our schedule looks like. So certainly stay tuned on that front. But right now, season tickets is the best way to guarantee access.
Okay. And something that, and since I'm kind of a little bit more of a newbie soccer, or at least MLS fan, I mean, my kids played soccer growing up and we kind of, enjoyed the sport from that standpoint. But something that you mentioned earlier and something that I couldn't really quite figure out when we first started the process of learning about the team is this concept of supporters. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of explain what that is and kind of like, kind of what that's gonna, how that enhances the game experience, when you actually go to the matches?
Yeah, so the unique thing about this sport is that match day experience is almost entirely dependent on what our fans and what our supporters do. And what we refer to as our quote unquote supporters or our supporter section. So supporters are actually organized groups. And so these are independent of the club. They are organized on their own. They have their own structures. They have their own leadership councils, and they work together with the club to help amplify that fan experience. And so we've got a section designated for them because they are your group that, for 90 minutes of a soccer match, they are not only standing, but they are chanting in unison. They are performing, they are helping to create that match day experience, and this group, they're really special because there's not only a commitment to the club, but most of them are pretty heavily committed to the community. And a lot of them have ties to philanthropic organizations where they're trying to build up community through the power of sports. And so they're such a big asset to us as a club. They're huge advocates. They're really an extension of the club. And so they work with us on creating an atmosphere. And so for those that have never been to a soccer match, when you walk in, it's really different from an NBA experience or an NHL one, where it's typically heavily dependent on music that's pumped in to the venue, or timeout activations and performances. There are no timeouts in soccer, and there's really no opportunities for us to use our video board and to pump in music outside of halftime and pregame. And so these supporters are the ones going absolutely bonkers for all 90 minutes. So we're excited to showcase, some of the work that they've done, because it's a lot of work, and these guys, take it as a full-time job. So it's exciting. And if anybody's interested in being a part of, a supporter group, it's really a great opportunity to come together. And, particularly where we've, all kind of been away from communicating, being around big groups for so long with COVID. I mean, this is a great opportunity to come together and socialize, not only at a game, but outside of it. And so we've got information on our supporters groups as well on our website, where you can connect with different ones, different groups representing, different locations of the Carolinas. So it's a great opportunity to meet people and come celebrate soccer.
Awesome. Are there any other, I mean, you said about the website, any other resources out there for people to learn more about the team?
Yeah, I mean, checking us out on all of our official social media platforms. I mean, we're everywhere. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. And even our website is a great resource. We've got columns and segments on there, MLS 101, if you're not entirely familiar with the league or the sport. And anytime we post or have any news, it's going to be on any of those channels. So I encourage people to give us a follow, check out our website. As you mentioned, we've got everything from our stadium renovations on our site, where people can click a video and see what it's going to look like as it comes to life.
No, that was, like I said, that rendering is really cool. So looking forward to seeing some updates on that stuff getting wrapped up. And again, that's pretty cool. Anything else that you would want to add before we kind of wrapped up? Anything we didn't get to cover that you just want to make sure you get out there?
No, I think you covered it. Look, we're thrilled. I mean, this is an opportunity, again, to bring people together. It's such a unique experience. I mentioned, stay tuned to our channels, because here in the next couple of weeks, we'll be announcing more information on what our schedule looks like. And so, look, we want to start strong, and we want to break a record, and we want to create an atmosphere that we as the Carolinas can be really proud of. So hope people give us a try and come out and check it out, because it's going to be such a unique and fun atmosphere.
Awesome. Well, I know you're super busy, but I just really appreciate the opportunity to come and talk, and definitely look forward to supporting the team in the upcoming season. I'll leave some links in the show notes so people can see the renderings of the stadium experience, and send a link for ticket information. So thanks again for coming in, and have an awesome day.
Thanks for having me, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thanks.